seen brothers here in Chicago, here in Baltimore, come through the Moorish Science through the door, having been shot 6, 7 times. I see him come in, and then they get healthy, and they okay. All because of the power of that prayer. I'm not talking about no other prayer. I'm talking about the prayer that you have faith in. What prayer is that we have faith in? It's the Moorish American prayer. We have our own prayer. But when you call it, I love Allah, you don't say I love you, I love Allah. Oh Allah, I love thee. Thine art my God, Allah. That's what Allah wants. That's his language. That's what he put in our ears in reference to him. What he wants you to call him, not what the English man, the English speaking, or the Greek speaking, or other speaking people want you to call him. He wants you to call him what he said his name is.
Islam, Islam, Islam.
Islam, Sheik.
Islam.
Praise Almighty God, Allah. Once I'd like to take, first of all, acknowledge Allah in our thoughts, not to necessarily pray outwardly, but let's honor and praise Allah in our thoughts. And I'm going to ask you on the count of 1 to praise Allah in thought, on the count of 1 inwardly, and then we'll proceed with our show. 3, 2, 1. Amen. Islam, Sheik.
Islam, Islam. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure's all mine, Mo. Islam, Brother Bey. It's a pleasure, Mo. How you doing, man?
I'm fine. How about y'all? Praise Allah.
Praise Allah. Mo, I understand that you had some questions, but if allow me to proceed with this message that I give out every 1st of October, and then we'll proceed with any questions that you may have pertaining to any of Moorish Science. And please feel free to ask your question. Okay? Islam?
Islam.
Okay. Sheik Pennington Bey, what do I do at this point?
Islam, what you want? I already know what you want. Here you go.
Okay. Praise Allah, Mo. Well, I want to read a little message. While this picture is up, I want to read a message. This picture is titled The Convention, the Conspiracy Continental Convention that enslaved the Moors in 1774, September 1774. And the bottom one reads, the convention that did free the Moors, October 1928, the Moorish American Convention. So, Sheik, can you hold it there for a moment while I just want to send a note out, read a little something.
Islam.
It says, Thanksgiving to thee, O Allah, for hearing our cries, for thine forgiveness and mercy. Also for fulfilling the prophecy that from amongst our own people thou have ordained the exalted one, noble Drew Ali, that thine blessings of nationality, honor, health, glory, and the old-time religion of Islamism, the old-time religion of our forefathers, has come unto us, the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. It reads, the Egyptian eagle Saladin has landed. 95, 96, 97, nor 98 years of tradition, customs can alter the nature of truth. And today, October the 1st, 2025, the first day of the sacred month of October, we are preparing to make our pilgrimage to the holy city of Chicago for the 98th annual convention of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, founder, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, organizer, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, establisher, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, incorporator, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, planner, and the 90th and the first annual convention of the Moorish Science Temple of America that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the leader of. Now, can you put up the other one? Convention, big success. Now, this right here is the news Moorish guide that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali caused to be published, as well as the poster that you see in the background on your screen. That poster of the annual convention of the Moorish Science Temple of America, 1928. The prophet says, come, the great meeting is on. And he was talking about October of 1928. As he traveled throughout the states, as he toured throughout the states, he told them the great meeting was on in October of 1928 in Chicago, Illinois, our Mecca. Now, let me read something. It says, allow myself to read to you all from the data cornerstone of the birth of the Moorish people, the Moorish nation, the birth of Moorish Americans, being presented to the world by a loving and proud father, Noble Drew Ali, that paraded Islamism, the Moorish flag, our dark olive skin, the cultural dress of our ancient people from Asia and Africa, as recorded in the Bible and the Quran, and more importantly, the traditional dress of Moroccans, from which the nation of Morocco, of whom Moorish Americans are descended from, displayed October 17, 1928. So we're talking about the Prophet's Convention being a big success. A big success. It says in bold letters, the Moorish Guide, and the date on it is Friday, October the 26th, 1928. 1 week later, he declared the Moorish Convention, the convention that he hosted, the convention that he was the establisher of, he declared it a big success. Now, it says, a date, October 17, October 1928, is a date all Moorish Americans, especially Moorish Muslims, should be rendering thanksgiving to Allah for, and honor to Noble Drew Ali, to be very proud to have preserved from that generation of October 1928 to this generation of October 2025 to the Moors, so the Moors may hear the truth for those that were not present during this national event. Come, let us read. And I'm going to read the poster. You can put the poster up at the time sheet, please. If you have a copy, pull it out and let's read what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, his work, his words. The Moorish Science Temple of America, First Annual Convention, Chicago, Illinois, Unity Hall, 3140 Indiana Avenue, October 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1928. Who's the founder? Prophet Noble Drew Ali, founder. And as the record reflects that he toured the states and told them that the great meeting is on. Let's look at those that answered and came to that great meeting that was on in October. Charleston Temple number 2, Brother H. Wheatley Bey. I'm reading from the convention poster that's behind me, that's in front of you. That's 209 Raw Street, Charleston, West Virginia. Another one that came to the great meeting that was on, Milwaukee Temple number 3, Brother Prather-El, 587.5 5th Street, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Another that came to the great meeting that was on, Richmond Temple number 6, Brother Mosby-El, 1225 North St. James Street, Richmond, Virginia. Another that came to the great meeting that was on October 15th through the 20th, 1928. Cleveland Temple number 7, Brother Charles Bey, 2334 East 30th Street, Cleveland, Ohio. Another that came to the great meeting that was on Pine Bluff Temple number 8, Brother A. Brown-El, 2511 West Pullen Street, Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Another that answered the call. Newark Temple number 10, Brother Pollard Bear, 84 Spring Avenue, Newark, New Jersey. Another that came to the great meeting that was on in October. Philadelphia Temple number 11, Brother Thompson-El, 817 Broad Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Another temple, another group of Moors that came to the great meeting that was on in October. Baltimore Temple number 13, Brother Cook Bey, 705 Sharp Street, Baltimore, Maryland. Another that answered the call and come to the great meeting that was on in October. Petersburg Temple number 14, Brother Shepherd Bey, 458 Harding Street, Petersburg, Virginia. Still another that answered the call to come to the great meeting, Lansing Temple number 15, Brother Robertson Bey, 910 William Street, Lansing, Michigan. Again, I'm reading from a poster, the poster that you see that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said himself should be in every home because it is the cornerstone of our movement. It is our birth date. It is when the Prophet proudly showed his children off. You know how father child is born, he proudly showed his children off. Well, this is what the Prophet did on October 17, 1928. So October of every year, we should be celebrating our birthday. Now, most of the brothers on this, matter of fact, all the brothers on this that I've mentioned are on various pictures with the Prophet. But I'm just honored to have met some of those that honored the Prophet Noble Drew Ali while he was here. I sat at their feet, I talked to them personally. And one of them was Dr. R. Jeremy Bey, the Prince of Peace, the Grand Governor here in Baltimore, as well as Brother Richardson Dingle-El, Grand Sheik Richardson Dingle-El, Temple number 13. He also was with the Prophet and came and honored the Prophet in his words, works, and in deed. And Grand Sheik Richardson Dingle-El, as well as Dr. R. Jeremy Bey, have Moorish children even unto this very day. They're propagating the faith, they stand strong, and they're doing the will of Allah. So that's just a blessing of all the people that came and to the great meeting that was on, that's set under the Prophet's voice. Now let's go to the program. The program reads, and I would like to take this time and read these, if you allow me. There are minutes that we're going to go into, the minutes of October 1928, as well as the minutes of September 1929 and 1934, to clarify any misunderstandings about what the Prophet expects us to do, what it is that he wants done, not that I want done. I don't want to attend a convention because it's in October because it's too cold and September is warmer. No, bruh. I want to obey Allah because it is Allah that chose. It says, through the Prophet Noble Drew, divinely prepared through our guidance, our protection comes through the Prophet Noble Drew. So our work, our expectation of our salvation is to come through the Prophet Noble Drew, because somewhere in the record he reads, it is his works, it is his words, it is his deed that will make the world see that we are who he said that we are, for which is Moorish Americans, and that we are Muslims. Now, program of October 15th through the 20th, 1928. I like to read briefly each day. And it's right there on that convention poster that we have and won't pay all the attention that's required for us to pay. So we'll know. So people can't hoodwink us. People can't just tell us anything. It says, Monday, October the 15th, 7 a.m. to 12 midnight. Registration of delegates and visitors at General Headquarters, 3140 Indiana Avenue. General Headquarters, wow. Tuesday, October 16th, opening session, main auditorium, 3140 Indiana Avenue. A lot of people have never been in that building, and we don't understand that it is a building that has an auditorium. It's just not that front that we see. It's other parts to that building that we don't see. 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., main auditorium, Unity Hall, 3140 Indiana Avenue, Prophet Noble Drew Ali officiating. 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., report of Detroit Moorish Science Temple by Brother Lomax Bey and Sister Lomax Bey and other presiding officers. Evening session, 7 p.m. to midnight. Welcome address by Honorable Louis B. Anderson, Alderman of 2nd Ward, Honorable Daniel M. Jackson, Committeeman of 2nd Ward, and Illinois Commerce Commissioner, Mr. Jesse Binga, President of Binga State Bank. Also was present Honorable Oscar DePriest, Republican candidate for Congress. Honorable Robert R. Jackson, Alderman of 3rd Ward. Honorable George W. Blackwell, State Representative of Illinois. Legislator Richard H. Ross, Master of Ceremony. So what the prophet was, so the prophet had for us to move, to make some move. You know, all the various laws that were striking at us, that we're undergoing, that are cruel and mean today, he had people, or was attempting to put people in office. He had people at his call that were going to help us. So until we can get congressmen and senators and bank people and aldermen in office, we have to endure this prophecy. And as a result, you and I have to stop whining. And the only way we're going to do this is that we do it like the prophet said. We got to live right. We got to be upstanding, moral people, not betrayers, backsliders, and all of this. You have to be moral men to do the work that's required for us to do. Program Wednesday, October 17th. Now listen to this. Prophet Noble Drew Ali officiating, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Report of Pittsburgh Moorish Science Temple by Brother Crumbie Bey and other presiding officers. 2 p.m. Grand Spectacular Parade through Chicago's beautiful residential district with all grand sheiks dressed in full regalia. Somebody was proud of us. Somebody dressed us up beautifully. Somebody dressed us up other than looking like those unconscious brothers and sisters that are out there. Somebody dressed us up like he himself is dressed up, like a Moor, like a Moorish American, like a Muslim. Full regalia. He paraded. October 17th, he paraded his children down the streets in full dress regalia, looking good, looking good. Thursday, October 18th, Prophet Noble Drew Ali officiating. 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Report of Chicago West Side Moorish Science Temple, number 9, by Sister Whitehead-El and Assistant Grand Sheik Dove-El. You'll find pictures of her on the poster as well. 2 p.m. General report. General report of the Moorish Guide. That's the paper that says that the convention was a big success. So we had reporters in there that reported, told everything that the Prophet was doing. Again, let me read that. General report of the Moorish Guide, the Moorish Science Temple weekly newspaper by Claude D. Green, managing editor. Evening session, grand musical concert led by Grand Temple and Temple number 5, Detroit. Sister Lomax Bey, another temple. Well, let me just address that grand musical concert. This is holy. The feds. It's holy. Don't think for one moment, because there was a musical concert, that these Moors were doing the chicken leg or any other kind of dance that disrespect this fez and the button that is worn in the turban. If you have to dance like that, take your fez off. Take all that holy regalia, all those holy symbols, take it off and do your thing. But give this the due respect of holiness and sacredness that is due, for which is all that we are all about. Friday, October the 19th, 9 a.m. Moorish Science Temples of America's business sessions. Afternoon, closing session. Friday evening, grand celebration and entertainment of delegates and visitors. Goes on down. I want to read special notice. This is all on that data cornerstone poster that's all of us more than like have. If you don't have it, get it. It should be in your home, because this is your birthday. This is your data, your birth data credentials, October 1928. All members attending the convention must be in Chicago not later than Sunday, October 14th, 1928. Upon arrival, report directly to Unity Hall. So the Prophet organized this thing, planned it. Moorish Science Temple of America General Convention, headquarters, 3140 Indiana Avenue. Address all inquiries for information concerning housing and accommodation to Ms. Pearl Ali, 3140. All members will be notified of transportation arrangement by the presiding officers of their temple. The Prophet was organizing. Good wholesome meals and refreshments will be served by the Moorish Cafeteria service in the building where the sessions of the convention will be held. We're talking about the convention, a big success. We're talking about landmarks of the convention. We're talking about those that may have desired to remove the landmarks. I'm saying that the chief cornerstone of the Moorish Science Temple of America, the chief, of course, there's 1920, 1913, 1926 and 28, but the chief cornerstone of who we are, what it is that we have, and what it pertains to us, that the Prophet wanted us to have, the chief cornerstone, the chief landmark is August of 1928 that led that the meeting did not convene, that did not stop convening until October the 15th through the 20th of 1928. So what I'm saying is this: all of you that hold your various Moorish days in your respective state and county, of course, you know that it came out of October 1928, but I'm also asking you to come to the convention, the foundation that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali laid. If you want your salvation, if you want to do according to what the prophets say do, if you want to get rid of this mess that's taking places in our communities amongst our people, then we have to do what the prophets say do. Step by step, walk in the footsteps that he laid. And that he laid and Prophet and Allah choose. In October of 1928, again, is our birthday. Chicago is the headquarters, the home office, the seat of the government of the Moorish nation. It shouldn't be changed to any other state or date and time. I'm asking you, Sheik, can you put up the other picture?
Which one? Which one you want, Sheik?
One with not the Prophet Begins second tour, but the one with the flags in the background. Yeah, that's it. Monsieur, this is a replica of the image of the 1928 convention. Looks good. It did some powerful work that convention day. Did some very powerful work. We have it set up as the Prophet has his office set up. His office is in the pictures, ours is in the background. But this was done in Baltimore City when it should have been done in Chicago, Illinois. I'm asking all of you, everything that you have, get it out of Chicago, Illinois in October. The foundation that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali himself laid. I, Sheik Clarence Prather-El, did not lay these foundations. I appeal to you. I appeal to Muslims, and I'm reading now. And what I'm reading is appeal to October. Muslims, true believers, the faithful to Allah, the faithful to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the faithful to the Moorish Science of America, I appeal to you all. And please do not judge this message I am bringing to you before you have given it some unbiased, unprogrammed thought. I am trying, as the last thing that the Prophet says in the Quran, that he was trying. Well, you know can't do anything but try. I'm trying to relay and rebuild the works of the foundation that I have found have been removed, that was laid and finished in October 15 to 20, 1928 in Chicago, Illinois, by Allah's exalted one, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. With Islamism, the religion of both the praised one, Muhammad, and the anointed one, Jesus, the Messiah, and many of the other prophets, sages and seers and wise men, governors and sheiks. I hold the current generation of Moorish leaders, as well as myself, for all your confusion of simply not knowing what the Prophet wanted done to build on his foundation that he laid for our salvation. The last thing that he says in the prayer, that you young and unborn are having to struggle to learn. And in many views, no one really qualified to teach you. And these qualifications are not of reading the works, quoting them, parroting them like a parrot, or simply repeating what others are repeating, for which many are doing very well. But the qualification is the one qualified, having been taught by those who have been taught, that have proclaimed and are practicing and is practicing love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice to all. I know it sounds like I'm saying that some of us been deceived. Well, we're living in those times. You know, I think even in the Quran, it's even in the Moorish literature, it talks about deception. I think one of Jesus' disciples pulled him aside and asked him what would be the sign of his coming. And Jesus went on and told him about wars, many wars, and people nation against nation. But the main thing that he said that has stuck unto me since coming in the Moorish Science Temple of America is to be not deceived. For many are coming with this gospel, speaking well, sounding well, looking well. But their only job is to deceive. Rare is it that we find one to come into this world with the unselfish thoughts of uplifting a stubborn, stiff-necked, backsliding, greed, lustful, mentally strained, ill people. It takes a strong man to walk in the valley of the shadow of death and fear no evil to uplift such a people. For the foundation has been moved from Chicago and spread throughout the states. I'm asking you, more as your young brothers and sisters, y'all look so very good in my views, in my opinion. Y'all look good wanting the prophet. Y'all look good striving to excel in the prophet. Y'all look good in trying to have the prophet's approval. But also part of the approval is to be in Chicago in October. Not only this year, but every year. It is our capital. No one else goes anywhere else when it's time to celebrate their freedom, their independence. And we got ours in 1928, in October 1928. When in September 1774, a convention sought to enslave us. They went so far as to chop down our tree, a veritable cherry tree, chopped down by General George Washington and his conspiracy Continental Army. Cut us off. Y'all know the story. But it was the Prophet Noble Drew Ali that held another convention out of all the conventions that were being held in the 1920s. And there were many, but the one that stood out was the one that was held in October the 20th, 1928. It was too great for the great deceiver, Satan the devil, the great deceiver. He could not stand. He could not see that stand. And he did everything in his power to render October the 20th, 1928 void. And you're going to read in the minutes of September 1929, you're going to read in the minutes, you're going to read how people realize that they should not have accepted their teachings. That you're going to read this, and especially 1934, that they should not have accepted their teachings. So in all that I'm saying, brothers and sisters, Moors, I'm appealing you to come back to the foundation of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I know his foundation has been around such a long time, taking on a life of his own. But again, regardless of how long it's been around, it does not alter the nature of truth, the tradition of it, the custom of it. And I have no problem with you having September as a custom or tradition. That's not the problem. But what you're doing is you're telling the people that's the work of the prophet. And it's not the work of the prophet. We need the work of the prophet for our salvation. I think if you go into the Moorish literature, you're reading there, again, it is his words, works, and deeds. It is the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's words, works, and deeds. it's going to get us out this mess. His words, works, and deeds is what the government is going to recognize. Not mine, not even yours, but his. And if they do recognize it from me, it's because we're following in the footsteps. We're made in his image. We're speaking like him. We're acting like him. And who could refuse someone speaking and acting like the Prophet Noble Drew Ali? So with that said, Sheik, I want to thank you for allowing me this time and being a great technician and help me to bring this message out to the world. And at this time, I'll entertain any questions pertaining to anything that I've said. Islam Sheik, Brother Day Bey.
I was muted and didn't know.
Say it again.
I was muted and didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't hear you, boy. I didn't hear you.
I said I was muted and didn't know.
Okay. All right, praise Allah. But are there any questions or comments, Sheik? Pennington Bey?
Islam. There go the man with the questions right there.
Okay, what's the question?
Islam. So I'm streaming up on my Facebook, and on my Facebook I have a lot of people who probably never heard of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So can you give like a brief description of the Moorish Science Temple of America and who the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is to them?
Yes, I can. The Moorish Science Temple, first of all, the Almighty God, I said in the letter that I read, the Almighty God, Allah, heard our cries. And hearing our cries, he sent an unselfish man to us that told us the truth about ourselves, such as was sent to the Israelites when they went in captivity, such as Abraham Lincoln when we were in bondage. The Almighty God, Allah, the great creator of us all, heard our cries. And in hearing our cries, he ordained someone that could come, that looked like us, eat, sleep, bathe, did everything that we do to show you a way if we trusted in him. And this man's founded an organization, pretty much like the Freedmen's Bureau when we first came out of slavery, pretty much like he gave us credentials in our pockets, pretty much like the manumission papers or the Freeman papers. He gave us all of this. He founded an organization. And in this organization, he set us down at the ages of 70, 80, however old we were. He set us down and told us about ourselves. He told us that we were not the people that a people have grinded into the dirt. He told us that we were a people that have a glorious history. He told us that we are the people that whenever history speaks of great things being done, that we are that people. But we, in the state of mind that we were in, could not understand that. We could not see beyond the so-called white man or the so-called white master, because that white man, that so-called white man, that so-called master had stolen our souls to the point that we knew nothing. He didn't allow us to read. He didn't allow us to write. He did not even allow us to speak properly English once we learned it. Once our mothers and fathers you came over here from Morocco, from the African shore. They came through Louisiana. And we were speaking every step of that way, even up to Louisiana, up through Mississippi. We were speaking a proper language. But when he got us in his clutches, in his claws, in his paws, we could not even speak like we had some type of educational, some type of common sense. So this man founded an organization, this man, Noble Drew Ali, that you, back during, let's say, what's this, 2020, let's say 1995, you know, they had a picture out with all the great leaders, a collage of a lot of great leaders. But Drew Ali wasn't on there, but you had other people that Drew Ali, that sat with Drew Ali, like Elijah Pooh-Il, for example, like Daddy Grace, for example, like Father Divine, like you saw, like Charles Drew, like Oscar the Priest, Marcus Garvey, Charles V. Roman, big brothers like Lomax Bey, and there are a great many others. You see them in the collage, but you don't see this man. Now, Black History Month comes about. You don't see him in Black History Month either, because he did not claim to be Black. But if they'd have put him in Black History Month, then the story, the money, and everything, the prestige and the honor that goes along with being Black would have, he would have avoided it. He would have made it non-void. So they didn't put him in there. But here recently, the people are waking up to the truth that they are not dead. They may not have things, they may not know things, but they are not dead. We know this by all the wonderful things that our people are doing. So he founded this organization. The organization was founded in 1913. It's incorporated, it's lawfully chartered. This organization, Brother Bey, is lawfully chartered. In other words, when you read the laws of this organization, it talks about, it calculates love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, faith and hope. You don't talk about hating anybody. You don't talk about discriminating against anybody. You don't talk about terrorizing. You don't talk about terrorizing anybody. So that's what this organization and the man that founded it is all about. And it's what we should be all about. Those principles of telling our brothers and sisters that don't want to hear it because it's fashionable, it's wealth in being Black. You know, they don't want to come in such the small little groups that we have, the small little organization. They don't want to wear their $5,000 outfit into the small buildings that we have. So they don't come. And he used this as a principle to ignore what it is that we said. I don't need nationality. I don't need religion. But when they look to Jesus, Jesus of Nazareth told them that with all that you have, you're still poor, wretched, blind, naked, and dumb. Come to me, to the Moorish Science Temple of America, because as we can see what's going on in the currently what's going on, the European man is doing the work of nature, forcing these people to have some type of identity. There's Jamaicans, Haitian, a lot of those people out there stood up. They said, we're not taking it anymore. And they stood up and claimed their God. And as a result of claiming their God, but claiming the religion of freedom, they got independent, they have today, independent dates. So that's what this organization is all about. And the man that founded it. And he came along, Brother Bey. He didn't come with an army like Judah did to spread Judaism. He didn't come like Constantine with an army to spread Christianity. He came by himself. And as a result of him coming by himself, we know that he did not come from the elect, nor did he come from the rich, nor did he come from the rulers. He came straight and uncut from Allah, the Creator.
Islam. So, for my next question, what was the first thing that you heard about the temple and what drew you in?
You're gonna come to hear you're gonna come to hear a story today, that some Moors. I live here in Washington, D.C., and some of the brothers, Moorish brothers, were in a park in Meridian Hill Park. Today is Malcolm X Park, Well, then it was Meridian Hill Park. And I went through, when I was in search of myself, Bay. I literally was in search of who I was, man. I had children at such a young age, and I'm thankful to Allah to this day for them. They're still around today, and they give me grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren, and my wife as well. And I was in search of who I was. I attended every organization out there. I paid my little dues. I brought what I had to brought. I hammered, I swept the street. I did all of this. Mama, NOI, Black Panthers, Black Man Liberation. I was in search of who I was that day. I walked the street, couldn't get no sleep, man, at night. Walking the street, trying to find out, not violently at this time, walking the street, trying to find myself, something, give me a revelation, looking at the stars. Every time I used to find myself sitting in parks. I used to go down to the National Capitol. I didn't live too far from the White House. And I used to go down there in the middle of the night. And then before the bats, the bats that fly at night started running me from down there. So, but other than that, I sat out there half the night, get up the next day, go to work. Then I found myself in this park. Now I'm in this park because of I'm thinking about the little young girls. I'm thinking about what took place in these other groups that I was in. You know, the sister's gonna love these brothers. So I go to this park and this brother pulls me up and speak Moorish Science to me. And Brother Dede Bey, you're gonna find out, I've said it countless times before, my mind was so fogged, so closed, so cloudy, that this brother was speaking just like I'm speaking to you. But I literally thought that this brother was speaking African to me because I didn't understand a word that he was saying. He was saying, I thought he was saying, I mean, this is what but I come to find out that he was speaking more science to you. And as a result, I had that hook in me. I still was out searching for myself. And then I found myself walking down the street one day and a brother came up and invited me to the temple. So I went to the temple here in Baltimore on Bonham Vista Terrace here in Southeast Washington, D.C. And from there, I've been in the movement. That was the week of January 1968. And I say the week of January 1968 because that's what was on my nationality card, the week of January the 19th, 1968. And I've been there ever since, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every Friday and Sunday since 1968. So, and you're gonna find the record say, go and find yourself. Jesus had to find himself. You can find that Moses went in search of himself, and he found out that he was not an Egyptian. He went in search of himself, and he found out that he's not an Egyptian, that he was a Israelite. Israelite. You know, we go in search of ourselves, and this is where I found myself, and this is where I've been since, Brother Dede Bey.
Yes, so let me see. All right, what's the questions right here? So why do you think so few people know about the Moorish Science Temple of America?
That's a very, very pertinent question. And I want you when you stream this over, on your line, you said you were streaming it.
Yeah, I'm live on Facebook right now.
Say it again.
I'm live on Facebook right now.
Oh, okay. You let them know it's because we don't want to argue and fight. We can't tell, we have the authority. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali obtained authority to tell our people that they were not Black, that they were not colored. We can come amongst the government. We can go everywhere and legally say that you are not Black and not be a terrorist or counted as a terrorist. We can go everywhere but amongst the Blacks. Because there's several reasons. One of the reasons is because We'll tear down what they built their life on. We can't put this, what they call new wine, into their old skin of that they've been carrying for black, that they're black, etc. We'll tear them down. Secondly, because they afforded wealth. To be black is to have, for them to be thinking that they're wealthy. So this is one of the main reasons we have to have jobs. We trust in Allah, we trust in his guidance, but we still have to work. And as a result, I don't all the time, much as I would love to wear this, I don't wear it all the time. But every opportunity, funerals, any type of gathering that will allow me to speak, I'm going to tell people about Moorish Science. And also, because in the early 2000s, right there in Chicago, where you are, some terrorists, some things took place, that made people not want to be bothered, made people close their ears, close their eyes, make mockery when they saw us, and all the time that they knew that we were right. But we're out there today, baby. We're out there today in the hundreds. So that's those are three of the good reasons why a lot of people don't know. And a lot of people say they don't know because they don't want to appear as if to offend you. They know, make no mistake about it. Those people that is in those fraternities and sororities, in those churches and groups and organizations, make no mistake, they know. They just don't want to acknowledge that they know, because they would have to defend being what they're currently calling themselves.
It's, let's go through the list of questions. So, if you had anything to say to the younger generation, like people around my age, I know a lot of them are in search for their religion and who they are. That was, praise Allah, the Moorish Science Temple of America came at such an opportune time in my life. When I was a sophomore, actually, I was thinking about joining the Nation of Islam. I was heavily considerate. You know, I didn't do it, but I was heavily considerate. And right at the time before I joined the temple, it was just like, man, like you said, I was in search of who I was. And praise to Allah, honor to Sheik Pennington Bey, he came and got me. I came to the temple. I'll never forget, it was a holy day, Friday,
Wow.
April 11th.
Wow.
And once I heard him, and I heard him read from that Quran, I was like, yo. And it was like every time somebody got up and demonstrated, they was just demonstrating straight to me. It was like it's something that I needed to hear. So that's what drew me in. But what would you say to young people who was looking for religion and looking to find themselves?
I would advise them, simple as this, to maintain their morals. People that are steeped in sin, people that are steeped in mischief, they cannot hear. I have no problem with telling young people to do what's right, regardless of what. Defy your peers if they're going to have you. Excuse me, brother. Defy your peers if they're going to have you do something wrong. And as you continuously search, as you continuously defy your peers that are doing something wrong, you're going to hear a still small voice. And that still small voice very well can come to you like it came to me, like it came to yourself. And you find yourself where you're going to make the greatest contribution to your life and the life of your family. So I would first of all live amongst them. We have a sheik here in Baltimore, Sheik Eric Thompson Bey. Every Sunday with rain, snow, sleep, or hail, he has somewhere after the meetings for the young people to go that he can talk to them. Somewhere. In the wintertime, he carries them, he rents schools, the gymnasium in the school. In the summertime, he has the playground, all for the youth. So I myself communicate religion. As my age, I communicate religion. But me giving this information to you, Brother David, at the age that you are, you can do the communication. You can do what was Moses' brother's name? Well, what was Moses? Aaron. You can do what Aaron did for Moses. Moses spoke a God language, and he gave it to Aaron to speak English language, or vice versa. But the language I speak communicates English. Religion. And people are just not ready for religion because it's talked down. It's claimed that it has no substance. But religion is what we need because it's the principle of our Creator. So I would live amongst them, Brother David. I would live amongst you, communicate to you, so you can communicate to me what it is that they want. Because if I've asked them, I've gone amongst young people. We have in Baltimore a community center where we have in there, we have drug counseling. These are Moorish Science. And we bring the young people in there and we ask them what it is we can do to help them. And they don't have no idea. So from this, we knowing that they don't have idea what we can do to help them, we go ahead and do things. Like Sheik Eric Thompson Bey is doing things. And believe me, it's paying off in dividends. It is paying off, brother. So, and then you have the school. We have a master sheik in Baltimore, Sheik Brandon Jr. We have Sheik Melvin Bey, Sheik Kaim Carter Bey, Sheik Alexander Prather-El. All of these are young sheiks. There are others, but they're young people, man. And they have no problem with going out there fishing. They have no problem. We just had an Ancient Forefathers Day here in Baltimore. August, I think it was the fourth Saturday of August. They were out there fishing. They were bringing young people riding by, driving by. They had them stop the car, park the car, come on in the park and hear what we had to say. They came in, they left, they hear what we had to say, they left. But they put something in them. They gave them something. And this is what it's all about. Planting the seed that one day Allah will nourish it, or some other information that they get will nourish that seed, and they're finding themselves up proclaiming their nationality, not just joining an organization because it looks good. Never join an organization because it looks good. Because, Brother Day Bey, I'm quite sure you know that some of the finest sisters, for example, you may see out there, they may have one or two problems. Internal as well as external. I'm not talking about my sister. I'm just giving you an example of how things look. Everything that looks good is not good for you. Same as a brother. He's looking extremely good, but you get in those close quarters and other things you find out about this look, And when we out there in the public, we put our best face on, but when we go home, we have to wash that face off. And the next morning, we have a totally different appearance. This is what we have to be careful when we go into an organization. Because it looks good, that don't mean that it's good. And does Allah approve it? And the longevity of it don't mean that Allah approves it. It just means that it has a time. Everything has a time. We being in the condition that we're in currently has a time.
So, if you don't mind answering,
I don't
mind. What are some main misconceptions that you hear about the Moorish Science Temple of America?
I'm let me just say something I've never heard, Brother Day Bey. And once or twice that I did hear, for example, I was in a controversy up in New York and I heard it. And They will say that we're not Moorish Americans, but won't fight us to that point. They will say that, no, you're not. You ain't no Moorish American. No, I can't believe you no more. Prove to me that you're Moorish American. And then you go back to the color scheme. You go right into their court where they are, claiming that to be black. Then you take away from them being black. And next thing you know, you find out, you hear them saying, okay, well, you might be a Moor, and you got this and you got that, but I'm still black. They don't want to be beat out. Because again, Brother Bey, it takes everything from them that they have. But I have never, other than one fight a couple of years ago, I was up in New York, and me and the brother we were at a meeting, we had a strong setting, and we were going black, and he was going black, and I'm going Moorish, but at the end of the day, I guess about a couple of hours, man, really a couple of hours, that he and I, everybody was just sitting around listening, getting in when they could, that he got to the point that, okay, y'all, you Moorish American, but that stuff ain't gonna fly. I'm still gonna be a nigga. I'm gonna still be a black nigga. Yeah, I'm gonna be a black nigga as long as I die. But he couldn't overcome all the logic that I was giving him that I'm a Moorish American and that he's not black. So what did he do? He got hostile. I mean, he with no punches came to pass, none of that, nothing like that. But we were arguing, we were literally in a big auditorium, and our voices, we didn't need no mics. we didn't need no microphones to explain ourselves, he nor I. But when it was all balled down, he's still gonna be I'm sounding good and et cetera, but he's still gonna be a black nigga. He was born a black nigga, I'm gonna die a black nigga. My mother was a black nigga, I'm gonna die a black nigga. I might be a Moorish nigga. He literally said, I might be a Moorish nigga, but I ain't gonna be no black nigga. I mean, I ain't gonna be no Moorish American. Stuff like that's the only opposition, because people don't know and they have to defend. And I understand them defending their position because they going up with it, man. We know the story about trying to put this new, or what they consider new, or this new gospel into those skins that are 50, 60, 70 years, that have lived a certain way all of their life. But somehow, Brother David, they don't realize that it's not working, man. That this government and no one else is accepting you calling yourself black, when they know that black means science, black relates to everything that is sordid, morbid, dirty, unclean. They know. And then I asked one brother, what when you say black, were you talking about your skin? Are you talking about where you painted? So those are some of the oppositions that I've had, brother. But they can, from the logic. And if I can get them to reason, they can't. They can't beat it. History is not going to reflect anything. History.
Yes, now, we know that the Moors have historically contributed to America. You said you live in DC, correct?
Yes.
We know that a Moor designed the city of DC.
That's right.
Can you go into just some of the many historical creations that the Moors have contributed?
Law-wise, the Declaration of Independence. Law-wise, the Constitution of the United States. Law-wise, the Moroccan Treaty. Structure-wise, the U.S. Capitol. My high school, my junior high school was Benjamin Banneker. I went to Benjamin Banneker Junior High School on Euclid Street, Northwest Washington, D.C. You have a lot of history here, lots of it. And our fathers are one that constructed this, but they whitewashed, because our fathers go into various orders and various groups, and they carry this knowledge with them. And as a result, they come out, and what's taking place in Washington, D.C., in the nation's capital, is being attributed to somebody that didn't have anything to do with it. like Benjamin Banneker, like Thomas Jefferson, like Crispus Attucks. These people, their names, these are their names, not my name, like for example, Clarence. These people came from a Pacific land. And just like you go into places like New York, even in Chicago where you are, you got names of, you got states, streets named after Moors. You know, you got in New York, for example, you got states up here like Pohana. You know, you got some of them I can't name, but I got an idea of what it is I'm trying to say. And here in Washington, D.C., everything, not just something, everything. George came over here and he didn't know half of what the world is attributed to him knowing. He didn't know an inkling. He just that he had a sword, a gun, and he was willing to use it. And as a result of that, he became dominant. He started to rule. But everything over here is contributed to the Moors. Library of Congress, whenever the Moors come here to Washington, D.C., I take them down to the Library of Congress. If you ever come or when you come, go down to the Library of Congress. You see on the wall, the old building, you got 3 head busts. One of the busts has on a turban, 2 of them has on a turban, and one of them literally has on a fez. This is a brick bust over the Library of Congress building here in Washington, D.C. You have, you go down to the Lincoln Memorial, you know, you have a lot of history pertaining to Lincoln being a Moor. You go to the Fourth Theater, you got a lot of history pertaining to Moors. So it's a lot here in Washington, D.C., my brother. It's a lot. You got over in Arlington Cemetery, they used to have the Freedmen's Village. You know, 5-10 years ago, we went over there. It's the houses are there, and I go over there just this year, and the houses are gone. And what had happened was after 1865, you had a free society. The Freedmen's Bureau allowed them to construct houses, but after 1865, 1867 in particular, and after Lincoln's assassination, they bulldozed, or they not bulldozed, they had bulldozed back in those days, but they covered all those houses up. They literally covered them up. And about 10 or 15 years ago, archaeologists come through there, found these houses, found the sign, found all kinds of symbols of our people having been there. And it was also written that our people were there. But you go there today, all you see is a sign that says the Freedmen's Bureau was here. So there's a lot in Washington, D.C., Arlington, and even right here in Maryland, there's a lot to be seen, brother.
It's
on top of the Capitol, U.S. Capitol, you know, on the dome of the Capitol, that's an Indian or Moabite sister on the Capitol right now. And you go, there's a cemetery here in Landover, Maryland, that has, you ever seen the movie 12 Years a Slave? Where that,
yeah. Yes, I saw it.
There's a memorial of them that tells the world that these brothers are the one that designed. They are Asiatics. And as a matter of fact, I'll get a picture and show it to you. They designed the dome of the U.S. Capitol. And their memorial is in Harmony Cemetery. If you look it up in your face, look it up. Harmony Cemetery, and was it Sheriff Road? Sheriff Road or Bright Sea Road in Landover, Maryland. Harmony Cemetery. And you see the memorial of these 2 brothers that represented the 12 Years a Slave, the writer, and the brothers that built the architect, that built the U.S. Capitol.
It's long.
It's long, isn't it?
So, the Moorish Science Temple of America has influenced many people. For example, Khalil Priest, he's an artist in the Wu-Tang Clan, and I want to read to you a lyric from one of his songs. He said, "I was
Wow.
lost, but now I'm found, walking the path that the prophet laid down." So, what do you think once you hear things like this and the many artists that was influenced by the Moorish Science Temple of America?
Bro- Brother Day Bay, I came up with Earth, Wind, and Fire. I came up with Marvin Gaye. I came up with um, Curtis Mayfield. Came up with all Isaac Hayes. All of these people were conscious, but their hands were tied. Their hands were bound. They couldn't tell us all that they wanted to tell us. And as a result, they put it in their music. Earth, Wind, and Fire, or the OJs, Ship Ahoy, what Marvin Gaye, What's Going On, Curtis Mayfield, a couple of his songs. Their
Hmm.
hands are bound, huh?
No, I was saying, I was
Okay.
agreeing.
Their hands are bound, and as a result of their hands being bound, they can't tell us. But as they become conscious, one day, Day, you may, for example, may set Denzel Washington free. You, as an example, may set um, Larry Fishburne, that played Moore, Denzel Washington, that played Malcolm X. And not only that, but in one of his movies, in the movie Israel, Roman J. Israel Esquire, there is literally a picture of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, clear as sight, clear as day, in that movie. Roman J. Israel Esquire, there's literally a picture that you can see clear as you're seeing me now of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Then you can free Martin Lawrence, Black Knight or Black Moore, where anyway, Will Smith, Black or Moore, Sidney Poitier or Moore. There's another picture, Morgan Freeman, Hassan Moore, or Kaim,
Yes.
one of them. There's so many pictures. These people are becoming conscious. Singer, you had, what was the name of the group you just mentioned?
Wu-Tang Clan,
Brother,
Khalil Priest, he was a part of Wu-Tang Clan.
know for a fact that members of the Wu-Tang Clan came to not came up from Baltimore, came to Baltimore to the temple. They attended the meeting. They came out of Philadelphia. They came to a meeting that we had. I had no idea who they were. I come to find out that this is who they were later. So these these brothers are becoming conscious. What's that brother name? Mo Def. Mo Def.
Mo Def,
Yes, brother. Yes. Mo Def is a more. And it's countless others. I can't recall their names right now, but they're coming conscious. And when this organization, through good, clean, young, moral brothers like yourself and that sheep behind you, when you do what it is that you have to do, live by the words of the prophet, we can liberate our people. We can emancipate our people. We can manumission our people. Set them free. That's what this organization is all about. This Moorish Science Temple of America is an anti-slavery society. All of those with those Greek, so proud of being the Greek letters and the Greek situation, all of that stuff is going to be given up for who they truly are because they have been living a lie all this time. And again, you learn this story from Moses, Prophet Moses. So people are becoming conscious today, brother. And as a result of becoming conscious, the more science, this is why I ask the Sheik to keep the doors to the Moorish Science Temple of America open, no matter what. Have trust in Allah. Keep these doors open. Allah will send brothers and sisters into the temple as they're needed. Jesus came, Drew Ali came. Look at all the people that Drew Ali came. Look, you see some of the pictures of the brothers and sisters. All those people have children that are living today. They're just waiting for that trumpet sound. They're just waiting for a good, clean, moral man, young Mo, to blow that trumpet, and they're going to come running. And in those ranks are going to be people such as those you just mentioned. And we're going to have to do something with them. I mean, I see it every day, man. I mean, I love looking at Facebook now because my children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, they call me all the G-Dad, Granddad. You see this on there? And I got to look at it. And it's people becoming conscious of who they are.
I saw a video up on Facebook, and it was Kanye West, and he was talking about how our ancient root with the Moors and things like that. And I was like, wow.
Wow. You saying right, brother. Wow. I mean, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan had a great dealing with us. Don't think for one moment, or half a moment, that he does not have a nationality card in his pocket. He may not present it to you. He may not even tell you, but we have there is evidence, there are the credentials whereby he was in receipt of a nationality card. Same one that's in your pocket, same one that's in my pocket. And I can tell you something about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I met Farrakhan and Malcolm X when they came to Washington, D.C. and consecrated that mosque there. I was there. Didn't know him. Sitting right there by him. I didn't know who they were. All I know they got up, they spoke, and they went home. I went home, but I was there.
My grandfather, he was Nation of Islam before he transitioned over. And we know that the Moorish Science Temple of America was the first Islamic group in the United States of America. Do you care to explain how the Moorish Science Temple of America kind of influenced the Nation of Islam?
The Moorish Science Temple of America got the authority to teach Islam, to tell our people about Islam, it took all the weight off of all those that have today prospered, benefited from Islam. In 1928, when the authority, the governor, the president said that you can teach Islam, it was like a pass to go and teach Islam. And that's what they did. But the only thing is, the Moorish Science Temple of America is not on a list of radicals or terrorists and things of that nature, when others that just took a piece of it and did what they want to do with it are on that list. So yes, the Moorish Science Temple of America, Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the first man that blew the trumpet and sounded the trumpet of the everlasting gospel, that saving power, that old time religion. And people say, well, what's the old time religion? And he said, it ain't Christianity because your Bible says new, the New Testament. And he told them what that old time religion, he took them back to Daniel. He took them to Ezekiel. He showed them Jeremiah and all the prophets. And they recognized the old time religion. And they recognize, this is why I hear a lot of people talk about one prophet more than they talk about the other. Well, you and I can talk about them all. And don't worry about what they did and how they did it. There's people out there right today, all they can talk about, 99% of what come out their mouth, it better be Jesus Christ. They can't talk about Muhammad or John the Baptist. They can't talk about them. I mean, they do twice a year to talk about John the Baptist, but my point is that you're free to talk about whomever you so choose. And this is what a lot of people did. Once they got on the tail skirt of this man, he got the authority, I'm going to get me a piece of it and I'm going to run. And this is what they're doing today, running with it. But there's no problem. They're in the plan. They're in Allah's plan. everything. Allah, it says, I think I read, what I read, it says Noble Drew Ali is the planner. Don't think for one moment that everything that's going on in the world was not planned. A master does not build a house, a prophet does not come and have not planned. He tells us about things in 1920 that are taking place today. So he has planned. He tells us about the people in 1928 that are here today. They have planned. He tells us about the wolves in sheep clothing. He tells us about those that are shearing the people. He has a plan. And believe me, my brother Bey, everybody out there is in the plan, especially if they're a group. They are in the plan.
So what goals and aspirations do you want to see for the temple and its members for the future?
The basic goal that I want is people to simply obey the law. Oh, wait a minute, brother, they obey my phone charge is going down. Give me 1 minute, please. My charge is, my phone is going down. Give me a minute, please.
Islam, Mo, that's a good question. That is a very good question. That's a very good question. While the Sheik is getting his charger for his phone, I want to ask you to answer that same question. As a young Moor coming into the temple, I know you're not here for no reason. So what do you see? What do you want to see the prophets playing 5 years from now?
I want to see more people to proclaim their nationality and to learn the truth about themselves.
Are you still there?
Islam.
Okay. Give me another second, please.
Oh, and that Mo, the Sheik was talking about Most Def. He is Yusuf Bey now. That's his name.
Wow.
Yusuf Bey. Yeah, Most Def.
What he a part of a group?
No, Most Def. He did used to be with a group. I don't remember what the name. That was like in the 80s and the early 90s. But he do more acting now than music. He played in quite a few movies. As soon as you see him, you're gonna know who he is. I'm not really good with the movie titles.
Oh, I see it. Singer, rapper. Yep, I see his Google page. Oh, he was in Dexter and Cadillac Records. That's great.
Yeah, he played in quite a few movies. Quite a few movies. All right, we go on fall back.
Okay, Mo, can I please ask you to, Brother Day Bey, can I please ask you to repeat that question? Freshman question.
I said, what goals do you want to see for the temple and its members in the near future?
The goal that I would like to see, Brother Day Bey, is for young Moors, innocent Moors, to obey the law. You ask me, I mean, you have everything I had, Brother Day Bey. You have the Quran, Divine Constitution. Help me out, Sheik, if I missed something. You have Moorish literature. You got the questionnaire. You have all of these laws in your hand. It says salvation is at hand. Any goals that I have, they will have to come right out at you, young people, obeying Allah's laws. If the law says love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and I tell you love, truth, hate, justice, and kick somebody's tail, which are you going to obey?
Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
That's all that we're trusting Allah, Brother Day Bey, and trusting Allah and obey the Prophet and Noble Drew Ali. That's all I want from the young people. That's what I want for the future, tomorrow, anytime. For you young people to obey. You got the law. You got it right there. Yes, I sound good. I look good. I got money. You've been in the movement before me. You trusted me, but you don't trust in me to the point that you're going to sell your soul and cause your life to be hurt and the lives of your children. So my goal for you would be to obey the law, the least of the law. You ain't got to argue, just what the law says. If you don't understand it, just take your time. Allah will tell you in a still small voice. You know, and not only that, but the prophet said, not a word is lost, for every thought, word, and deed is written down. So whatever you go through and you buck on it, you're going to get it. Trust in Allah, Day Bey. Don't let me sit up in your face and lie to you and have you catch hell. Because that jail, they're still building jails. They still got people out there on drugs. All of this. So my goal is for you to inspire you and encourage you to simply obey Noble Drew Ali's law. You ain't got nothing to argue with me about. The law says this. And if you want to go into this, there's a physical law, and then there's a spiritual of that same law. You would trust in Allah to tell you what the spirit of that very law is saying to Day Bey, that you may live right, man. And listen to your soul. Listen to the Sheik was teaching one day this week about it. So listen to your soul. If your soul says this is wrong, listen to it. If something says, well, that ain't right, listen to it. Question it. But don't just gobble it, swallow it, eat it because you like me, or because I loaned you $4 or $5, even because you live in my house. You share. Don't do it. Don't sell your soul for such. Don't do it. So obey the law, brother. Obey Allah's law. Obey Noble Drew Ali's law. That's and hate no one. No one. I don't care who they are. Don't hate anyone. Don't discriminate against anyone. Don't backslide. Don't betray no one, because you only betray yourself. Don't even steal, brother Day Bey. It ain't gonna amount to nothing. All you gotta do is look at the brothers and sisters stealing every day, and what they're stealing is not amounting to anything. They got to go the next day steal, and the day after that steal, and it ain't amounting, so it's no good to steal. What you get, let it be from Allah. That's my goal for you young people. Simply obey the law. Got the law in your hand, simply obey it.
So this is my last question for tonight. What is one thing that you would say to anybody who's currently watching right now and they want to know more about the Moorish Science Temple of America?
Sheik Maurice Pennington Bey is a cornerstone. The examples that I've seen, I would trust in him. He's like a light. Now, I mean, we got some faults, and I'm not trying to erase no faults, and he'll give an account for them. I'm not sitting in the judge or magistrate of any faults anybody have, anything anybody did wrong. And when I am sitting, I'll be sitting for that. But in the meantime, I think this brother is a good shepherd. Cares about his flock, cares about his sheep. And anybody that's listening, he is the nearest Moorish or Moorish Science. There are Moorish Science Temple of Americans around, but he's the nearest one I know that's in where you all at. So I'm going to ask that I would advise anyone, counsel anyone, to go to him. He has his own woman. Is that right, Mo?
Islam, absolutely.
He works every day for his money. He's always humble. I don't think it's anything that anybody will ask him for he wouldn't give. So it's not the money that he wants. It's not fame, reputation. The man is just trying to get the profit out to the people. So I would simply advise them, Mo, to go and listen to him. And if you don't understand him, go and listen to him again. And if you don't understand, go and listen to him again. Because apparently Allah is raising him up to do a job that somebody else should have done, and they're not doing it. That's what I advise to onlookers, on listeners, Mo, Brother Day Bey. You know, come to the nearest organization, the Moorish Science Temple of America, in your city, town, village, or state, and set. When you didn't sit in school, set. When you didn't ask your questions in school, ask them. When you didn't, the record says that when the sons of Allah go to a meeting, Satan and his people come also. I mean, go and set, and when Satan tempts you and you have the strength and courage enough for the truth to tell him to get the hints, you know that you're in the right place.
That was all the questions I got for right now. Sheik, you got any questions?
No, not for this platform. Sheik, no, I got questions. My questions usually pop up at 1:30, 2:30, 3:30 in the morning. Islam. I do have.
I got a notebook full of questions for the 13th though.
Say it again, Brother Day Bey. Are there anyone on
I got a notebook. I got a notebook full of questions for the 13th though.
Wow. What's happening on the 13th?
Once we be in Chicago, right?
Oh, okay. Praise Allah. Okay. Anyone on Facebook? Do they have any questions or comments?
No questions. No, we got a few comments, mostly just Islam, but no questions.
Okay.
No questions.
All right, well, may Allah bless us all, Moment. We're gonna recognize Allah and the Prophet in the Moorish American prayer, and on the count of one, we're gonna say it in silence, in thought. Thought is the cause of it all. We want protection, we want guidance, we want salvation, we want our principles, we want to know our Creator. He says it's incomprehensible, but I declare on the stack of books by our Quran, you know, I can see him in being the Father of the universe. I can see it. So on the count of one, we're gonna say it in thought, and may Allah bless us all in love to each other. Islam. 3, 2, 1. Amen. Brothers and sisters, I see you all in Chicago. In Chicago, praise Allah. Tell your brothers and sisters, come on out. You know, come on out to Chicago, Moors. And all will be well. Islam. Peace and love, Moors.
I just sat back and listened and ate. I just ate it all up. You know what I mean? So Islam, peace and love.
You know what they say about that, don't you, Mo?
What they say?
It's gonna be sweet to the taste, man. We're carrying this stuff out, man.
It is. Yeah.
But what you do for that? You do drink Drew Ali's tea.
Put a little honey on it.
There you go, Mo. There you go.
Islam, see.
All right, Mo. Peace and love. Nice meeting you, Brother Day Bey.
It's nice meeting you too, Sheik.
All right, Mo. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
You gonna play that music, Sheik?
I'm gonna let the people get a look at this poster for a little while.
Go ahead, Mo. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Get a look at it real quick.
That's right. Thank you.
Islam.
I've seen brothers here in Chicago, here in Baltimore, come through the Moorish Science to the door, having been shot 6, 7 times. I see him come in, and then they get healthy, and they're okay. All because of the power of that prayer. I'm not talking about no other prayer. I'm talking about the prayer that you have faith in. What faith in is that we have faith in? It's the Moorish American prayer. We have our own prayer. But when you call it, I love Allah, you don't say I love you. I love Allah. Oh Allah, I love thee. Thine art my God, Allah. That's what Allah wants. That's his language. That's what he put in our ears in reference to him. What he wants you to call him, not what the English man, the English speaking, or the Greek speaking, or the other speaking people want you to call him. He wants you to call him what he said his name is.